Hello there, on this video I'm going to give you a demonstration on thread cutting. It's going to be in two parts. We're going to use our taps to cut a thread in a hole to start with, and on the second part of the video we're going to use our die in our die stock to cut the thread on a male piece of mild steel. So to start with then we're going to use our taps. What I'm going to do is at the end, because you're not going to be able to see this from me holding them up, I'm just going to show you a close-up of these taps. There are three taps. We have a taper tap, we have a second, and we have a plug tap. The plug tap is primarily used for tapping a blind hole, which means a hole that doesn't go all the way through a piece of material. So I've got my piece of mild steel here with a hole I've already drilled in it. We use a tapping drill which is slightly smaller than the diameter of the tap, and in this case we're using an M10 or a 10mm diameter tap, and our tapping drill size is 8.5mm, which is slightly smaller so that the thread cuts into the side of the mild steel. So we've got our taps. I'm going to be using a 10mm tap, as I say, and that is in a tap wrench. So we're all ready to go. I've got my mild steel with the pre-drilled hole. I need a piece of cutting compound for lubrication. And the secret here is to make sure that you are nice and square to the material, putting pressure down while turning. And I can just now feel the tap biting into the side of the mild steel. And so it is half a turn forward, a quarter back to release the swarf, half forward, quarter back, half forward, quarter back. Obviously the tap needs to be made out of a much harder material than the mild steel, so it's made of tool steel or high-speed steel. And because we're using a taper tap, I need to make sure that I go all the way through plus a little bit more so that we get a full depth of thread all the way through the hole. I can feel that that's all the way through, so I'm going to release the tap. So there now, you're not going to be able to see that on the video, but if I just wipe the cutting compound off, we've now got our hole with our tapped thread all the way through. So the next part of the video is going to be taking our male piece of mild steel and using our die, we're going to cut a thread down the die so that it will screw into the hole. Okay, on the second part of this video we're going to cut the thread on the bar there so that it fits into our 10mm threaded hole. For that we're going to use a die. In this case this is a split die, and you can see the split there. It gives us a level of adjustment, and the die goes into a die stock which is equivalent of the tap wrench when we were cutting with the tap. So that is a 10mm die to match up the tap that we're using. The diameter of the bar that we're cutting the thread on is 10mm. So it's the same process as before. We're going to apply some cutting compound to the top of the bar. Same as before, holding it at 90 degrees, pressure down. Wait until you feel it bite, and half forward. That slips in the vise, let's get it up a bit. And quarter back. Half forward, quarter back. Okay, and we'll leave it there. Just unwind the die stock to release the die. Okay, and there we've cut our thread on the top. So we've used our die to cut our thread onto the bar there, and we've used our tap to thread the hole through the middle of the mild steel. So if I line that up, that's the one. Okay, and that's thread cutting. Thanks for watching.